Okay, I would just
question.
like to state that my Elder Scrolls Oblivion is not Shiggs's Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
No, 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 no. Are you telling me?
You played the original?
I will get into it on the show.
Okay, but
Not that there's much difference.
you're both talking about it at the same time.
Ah.
We're not having two discussions of Elder Scrolls Oblivion in separate places in this podcast.
All right, all right. Shiggs can go first, I guess.
Just talk at the same time. It's the
Yeah,
same
it's
game.
mostly the same. It's mostly the same game. Yeah.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
the
but my
hell?
experience is much different from Shiggs's because I didn't
They're
play the
different. It's
same
exactly the
same
same,
version.
but the
Our
game.
experience
My
with every
version
game is
looks prettier.
significantly different because we're different
The
people.
game literally has the exact same bugs as it had before.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 129 of the Side Talk Podcast. I am your host, Knuckles87, and with me today is the ever cheerful, jovial, and optimistic GX,
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Shigs.
and the ever wizened elder Shigs.
I'm leaving the U.S. and going to Mattel country, man.
Oh,
Get my
that's even worse.
Barbie,
Well, you know what? No, Hasbro
get
country
myself
I'd go to.
drive myself a Hot Wheels.
Mattel country, no.
I want to pitch you guys on something. Okay. What if there was a Sonic music cover album? So, you with me so far?
No.
Cool.
Kinda.
Okay, what if there was a Sonic music cover album that basically redid the entire soundtracks for Sonic 1 and Sonic 2?
I mean, it depends on how it redoes it, I
It
guess.
Well, I
redoes
mean,
it as a
there are
brass quartet or quintet. I forget which.
I'm sure that's
playlists you
perfectly
can find.
fine.
There's
Okay,
playlists you can find like that on Spotify and YouTube anyway.
okay.
People always do
I have
remix.
another twist for this. What if when you bought the album, it came with a mod for both Sonic Origins and the Sonic CD port version or whatever for Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 from actual Sega CD?
Okay, now I'm interested because I get to use my Sega CD.
Yeah, but one of the news is things I'm surprised you passed up on was this thing that I think is incredibly cool.
Well, I figured that if you wanted to include it, you would simply include it or
Well, I'm
ask
including
about
it.
including it because you would normally do that, and like I'm saying, oh,
Do
I
this.
say okay.
But I'm opening the show with this because it is very cool. You can get a mod for the game by purchasing the album. That's sick as hell.
Okay, that is pretty wild, I will admit, and that does sound like a very fun way of playing Sonic 1 and 2 on my Sega CD.
So,
Especially now that I have my EverDrive Pro.
album's called Gotta Go Brass. It's by the Game Brass, who are a group who
Okay,
do game
that's clever.
covers in a brass quintet, which is
Ooh.
nice. And I think that's really cool and amazing. And I wanted to kick the show off highlighting how cool and amazing this thing is.
Honestly, I'm more of a woodwind
Great
guy myself.
Well, then how do you ska with woodwind? Like, what are we talking about here?
I've never scod, I have only ever jazzed.
Both are good, but come on, man, you got to do both. Like, and jazz bands have brass all the time. That's how you get to big band.
Yeah, I know, but I personally played a woodwind. So I'm more of a woodwind guy.
Uh,
And then, of course, then you have the saxophone, which is kind of in the middle between brass and a woodwind.
is technically brass.
But it has a reed, like a
It does.
clarinet. Which is how I was able to play both.
Speaking of both of you playing,
Okay. Yeah, we have both been playing games. Shigs, you have been playing something, yes?
Yes, apparently both been playing different versions of the same game. First, I guess I'll go first with this. I've been playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remasters, which has a nice upgraded, definitely majorly upgraded graphics over the original Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which is about the only way you can get me to replay that game. I was not big on it originally, but I'm like, okay, I loved Skyrim. I'll give it a second shot. And outside of a few like little life improvements, like fast travel on the map, I don't know if that was in the original. I don't think it was. I might be wrong, but I don't believe it was.
You could always fast travel, yes.
Okay, so I'm wrong about that. But anyway, outside of a graphic overlay, then I don't really see much of an improvement over the original one. And from what
Well,
I'm hearing, a lot of the same problems that plagued the original are still in. A lot of the same glitches and that. They still got one person who is talking and then suddenly goes, "Oh, let me try that again," and,
So in
and talks through her speech, which is hilarious. In
okay, hold
hindsight.
on. So they left them in, or they preserved them?
they preserve them specifically. The developers
So they wanted
talked
them in there just for fun.
about how they make sure to keep various glitches in the game. A variety of exploits that you could use to like break the economics of the game are now gone. The animations for most of the characters are now improved, and although a lot of the voice acting was redone, but not all of it. The main thing they did when it came to the voice acting was they add a lot more variety to the voices, and they've mostly got better direction. But they kept a couple of iconic ones in specifically. Like there is this one where this lady flubs her line that was
Yeah,
in
that's
the
the one I was
original,
mentioning. Yeah, she flubs her line and she goes, "Hello,
and
traveler."
they
Oh,
reanimated
hold on,
it.
let me try that again.
And they reanimated it so that the character now looks like she's looking at a script. Uh, so yeah, so they did leave a lot of things in deliberately. But honestly, like having Shigs, do you have anything else to say about it?
I will say it's still not near as good as Skyrim for me. I mean, there's a few issues I have. Like they wanted me to do travel, and I didn't have enough for a horse. Somebody in our group had a horse there, so I just took that and we traveled with that horse. And then I found out I did a horse thief, horse
Yes, you
thieving,
can't just take random horses.
and now they're all constantly hunting me down, and either I kill them or I spend time in jail and just pay the fine.
Yeah,
That's my only
Shigs,
choice to get
stealing
out of it.
something, a fine for that is like I think $40. You should have just paid the fine, as the
No,
guards will
I
say as
said
they're
you
trying to
pay
kill
the
you.
fine or you go to jail. I think I was actually I'm still early in the game, so I was pretty broke at the time, so I don't think I can afford it.
Um,
We got Shigs over here who's principal Skinner. Well, I could have paid the fine. I could have apologized to the old lady, or I could have joined the army. I guess I'm joining the army.
But like, fun fact, I never bought a horse in Oblivion until this week. I traveled everywhere on foot.
Did you
Because like
find a horse
honestly, like
farmer?
the map is not that big. Like you can probably cross the entire thing lengthwise in about 30 minutes. But like going between individual locations really doesn't take that long. Plus, you can discover all sorts of things along the way. You get to kill bandits and monsters and level yourself up. So okay. To give you all some context, I have logged 177 hours into my playthrough of Oblivion. My one original playthrough of Oblivion that I started
Or
all the way
non-remastered
back.
Oblivion.
In that I did not master this game at all.
No, I
This is
said
not a game that you.
unremastered.
Oh yes, the original Oblivion. I bought the original game without all the DLC and Game of the Year stuff, all the way back in the Halcyon days of like 2008. Um, and I played it a lot back then, but eventually, I fell off of it, as I often do with very long games. But I got like all the way up to like one of the final mainline quests, which is like where you have to like recruit a bunch of city guards for this big battle at Bruma. And that is kind of where I just sat for, I guess, 15 years. Um, I went back to it occasionally, and and when I did, I discovered why I stopped playing. The game's default difficulty is absolutely insane because the enemies level with you. So as you level up and as you get more powerful, the regular enemies that you encounter will also level up and get more powerful. And like on standard difficulty, it just gets to a point where you are just fighting for your life in every single freaking encounter in the game, which made the Oblivion gates a horrific slog. Like that is the one thing Skyrim did much better, is that like once you get pretty deep into the game and you're like leveled up pretty good, like you will just tear through most things pretty easily.
I'm wondering if that was one of the changes, because I started.
That is one of the changes.
I started playing this on easy, and it is super easy on easy. I mean, I'm not
like
having any issues.
I played a little bit of Oblivion on the standard difficulty of Oblivion Remastered on the standard difficulty. It is significantly easier. I'm like one-shotting enemies already in a way I wouldn't have in the original game. But going back, like one thing I either didn't know or completely forgot was that you can adjust the difficulty in this game. And so like I played a little bit of I was getting all ready to like play Oblivion Remastered, and then my housemate tells me, "Well, you can just adjust the difficulty in the original game, right?" And like all of a sudden, my priorities have just completely shifted from starting a new playthrough in this brand new version of Oblivion to going back to my old save file and finally completing it. And so that is what I have been doing with most of my gaming time for the past week or so. And like I set the difficulty all the way down to the bottom. And it is so satisfying because now like I'm encountering these bandits wearing this high level light armor, and I just take them down in a single swipe. And it is so satisfying. And I get to like kind of just enjoy the game now. Enjoy the combat.
Shame in playing on easy, I'll tell you that.
And and so like at the moment I'm doing cleanup. I finally finished. Finished a couple of quests that have been sitting there for the better part of a decade. I finished the Thieves Guild quest. I got my my gray fox mask, which is hilarious to wear because whenever you put that thing on, all of the guards in the entire area will just hone in on you, and the mask hides your identity, and all of the crimes you commit with it get attached to the mask instead of you. And so, like, the guards won't arrest you; they will only kill you. But on the other hand, you can slaughter as many of them as you want with no repercussions. So, like, I have been kind of using that sort of cheese. Certain things, like I kill a whole bunch of them to like take off their armor and sell it to grind out my gold.
Knuckles, we call that being a serial killer.
I mean, and what's
I believe you are admitting to being a serial killer in the world of Oblivion.
GX, in basically every game I play where something like this is possible, I will become a serial killer.
Is that why you also have World of Assassination on the list?
Yes. But like in Oblivion, what I have a rule against killing like named NPCs. A few have accidentally died one way or another, but by and large, I've been pretty good on that. But anyway, so it's like I've been using it to like I walk in the middle of town. I guess have all the guards like attack me and shoot at me, and like level up my light armor and level up my blocking and all that stuff. And so it's just I'm having a lot of fun with this game, and it's been really nice getting back into an Elder Scrolls again. Because for me, like difficulty aside, Oblivion was always like almost as good as Skyrim. Like not quite. It's definitely aged worse in a variety of ways, but just in terms of the role playing and the gameplay, like it is still a lot of fun. And it's been a real hoot getting back into it. And at the moment, I am going through the Magus Guild quest line, and then once I'm done with that, I'm going to finally finish off the main quest line, and then my original plan was to go on Oblivion Remastered, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to move on to a different game after this. But one day I will play that as well.
All right, since we're still on the games I played. I've been on that like PS2 collecting kit, and I found a Sonic Mega Collection Plus for cheap. I already have the regular Mega Collection for GameCube, and just I don't use it or anything. But I was like, well, you know what? What the heck? Let's see what the difference is. And for the most part, it's the exact same game. I think the menus have quite a bit less pizzazz in them. They're more basic. The main difference between the two is one, the Mega Collection Plus has some GameCube games that are not in the Mega Collection, and they are not in Sonic
Some
Gems
Game Gear
Collection.
games, I think you mean.
Yeah, the game. Oh, sorry, I said GameCube, didn't I?
Yeah.
Game Gear.
Yeah.
My bad. But anyway, but they are the bottom tier crap ones for the most part. I mean, for example, let's see, it's Sonic. The good ones are like Sonic the Hedgehog, which still isn't that good because it's the Game Gear version and not the Master System with the wider screen. Let's see, Sonic Chaos, but then you
Triple
get like
Trouble and Tails Adventure.
It sounds like
nope, not
it sounds
nope,
like you
Triple
dodged the
Trouble.
bullet
Nope,
of Sonic 2.
Sonic 2 is on the Gems collection, but Sonic 2 also has Triple Trouble and Tails Adventure and the other Tails game. This one gets Sonic Labyrinth and Sonic Blast for the Game Gear. I mean, for the game.
Yeah, Game Gear. You're right.
I will take
The Game
those
Gear
two over
games.
Sonic 2.
But anyway, but the best, and they have the same comic collection for the most part. There are more covers. They go up to 139 instead of like 130. But the plus in this that the GameCube version doesn't have for your collection, it's like I said, it's the same collection as Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, and Spinball and Mean Bean Machine. Plus, you can unlock the same games like Ristar Flicky, unlock Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the exact same as Mega Collection. The main thing that's the plus, where if somebody would want it, is save states. You can go into R1 in any game and save right where you're at, and then you can load it back up again once you leave and want to play it again later, which something the GameCube version just doesn't have at all, and that's a fairly big advantage in my opinion. It does take a while for it to load up. Okay, we have a list of saves you can save on, and for some reason it takes forever for it to finally load up what you the game you want to do either the loading or saving on. But outside of that, that's a fairly big advantage. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you have PS2 and GameCube and that, and you want a more complete Sonic 2D collection, and you don't have, for some reason, you don't have other options, and maybe Mega Collection Plus and Gems Collection is the way to go on those two.
I've never really thought to like give it a look honestly, because it's like it's just the GameCube version with like a few extra games.
I was just curious what the differences are, and it was like $8 when I bought it, so I'm like, what the heck?
They could also have like some extra Genesis games.
No, it's the same Genesis games that's on the regular Mega one. It's just has a few more it has Game Gear games where the GameCube version does not have Game Gear games. And that's pretty much it.
So I guess moving back on to me.
All right.
So I have been I've been busy, and one of the things I've been busy about is I do now have a brand new computer, uh, built from the ground up, not like bought from a store or anything, and it has been very nice. Um,
Can you be more
because
specific?
like, okay, so I've been kind of borrowing my dad's computer, which he didn't ever use that much, which is why I was able to borrow it for a couple of years. But like even that thing was running off like a pair of old 980 Ti's. Like that thing could like barely do the 4K stuff that a lot of video people are doing these days. But so like moving on to this thing, it has just felt so good to finally just have a brand new computer with all of the resources to do all of the video stuff that I kind of sort of need to do for Sonic Stadium now. On top of like being able to just like run any game I want. Like it's a mid tier. The GPU is mid tier. It's like I think it's a 7700 AMD. But like that's generally like mid tier is all you need for a pretty solid gaming rig. It's not like I plan on like running 8K or some dumb crap like that.
I don't know.
um,
A real nice CPU is real good for processing, rendering video.
I also have a what I think is a mid tier CPU. It was like $300, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 1 terabyte SSD. And like for all of my video purposes, it has just been flawless. Like it used to be that I couldn't really do like PC recording at higher resolutions without having some video recording issues. But now it's like I can record any Sonic game at 4K and like only use like 40% of the CPU. And I could theoretically stream at that level as well, although I haven't tried it yet, and as you told me there's really no point in it. But like I could theoretically do it. I have the power and the bandwidth. So like after years of struggling with various technological bottlenecks, like I feel like I can finally do all this stuff. And on top of that, the computer itself is also a lot smaller because my dad's old computer, that thing was like that thing is massive. Like it was like a 2 foot tall tower.
You're
um
not used to having two tall tower pieces.
well, maybe it was a 3 foot tall tower. I forget. It was big, and my new PC is significantly smaller.
I just took a measurement. Mine, say, 20 inches tall.
Okay, 3 foot tall. Okay, then it's definitely a three. It was definitely a 3 foot tall PC
3
case.
foot tall PC case is like we're getting into server rack territory.
Yeah, and like you could like store like it had like special bays in the case for like I think 5 hard drives.
I think
Um,
your dad just owned a server rack. I feel like that's what you're describing to
no,
me.
this was a fancy looking computer. I will send you a picture later. Like he bought it because it looked like a spaceship.
Okay.
Anyway, so like I got to test it out during Raising Rings. It all went great. Like finally, everything about my setup is like semi professional outside of the fact that I will never have like a room that like has audio padding or anything, and I will never use a web camera. But aside from that, like it's as professional as I'm willing to get. um. So and so like yeah, and that is what all of our recent Sonic Rumble footage has been recorded off of. All that glorious 4K Sonic Rumble footage, although it shouldn't be. I'm sure it's not that impressive that this thing can run a mobile game at 4K and also record. But anyway, So moving on to Hitman Freelancer, which to Hitman World of Assassinations Freelancer mode, which I did get back into it last month, and I have nearly beaten it finally. So for those who don't know, the Freelancer mode is this thing where you you're going after a series of syndicates, of criminal syndicates, and you have to kill randomized targets, and the whole thing escalates more and more as you go through it. And if you fail too much, usually 2 times or maybe once, then your entire run fails, you lose a bunch of money, and you have to start from the beginning. And for a while, I was just kind of hitting a wall with this because I kept failing at certain points. And I would lose a bunch of resources, and then I'd kind of have to start from almost square one. But then I did a couple of things. First thing I did was I just looked up how to get a silencer pistol because my big issue was I just didn't have a way of covertly killing people. Like and frankly, like either I often fail at the some of the more creative ways, or the more creative ways just aren't convenient for a lot of these targets. So I eventually managed to like stockpile up on silenced pistols, and then I also discovered that there was a way to redo a particular mission if you fail, and that is by disconnecting from the internet and then going back to and then exiting the game.
Oh, you cheater!
Yes, I cheated, but I cheated in a way that was allowed, and like it wasn't foolproof because basically it had to be look. If once I have to make the decision to abort a run before things get too hairy, because once I'm dead, there's no changing that. Like it's just done. I'm dead. And so I would often have to like abort earlier than I might have normally, but it let me experiment, which is how I generally prefer to play Hitman. I like to experiment with killing people, and like figuring out the most effective routes of
we need to isolate that quote
people.
For future.
Which quote?
I mean, I'm not going to repeat it to be isolated for myself.
But anyway, so like yeah. So once I figured that out, I was able to build up more resources, get more weapons, and now I'm all the way up to the final guy. And then I stopped because it's like okay, I need to like savor this, and so I do want to go back to it very soon, but I guess have not had the time. But once I do, I'm going to finally complete Freelancer mode, and then like I guess I'll probably start again, try to do it more legitimately. But there's a lot that I enjoy about this.
Do it in VR. That's your next step.
No.
Yeah.
So like in Freelancer mode, you get a safe house that you can decorate. And like there are like a couple of resources that you can grab to take on your missions. Like you can go fishing and catch a fish and then poison it, and then make poison out of the fish, or just take the fish itself with you and use it to whack somebody. But you can also like just listen to music or drink wine, or engage in some various animations, we'll call it, like not really activities, like chopping wood and stuff. And it's like it is oddly relaxing in a weird way. It's kind of fun to see Agent 47 actually have some recreational time. But as you said, I am a serial killer in video games. Like, what's funny about the whole Gray Fox thing was that, like, technically, the Thieves Guild, you're not supposed to murder people, and so using that mask to go on killing sprees is against what you're supposed to do. But like the fun thing about Hitman is that it does really discourage that. Like sometimes I will just wanton kill a bunch of people, Mostly guards when I'm trying to like farm a certain weapon or something, but that's also extremely risky. And so I'm very incentivized to just kill only my targets and nothing more because frankly, like that is often the funnest way to play. But the other method I do like to do is I will find a what I like to call like a kill area where I can take cover. They can't flank me. I attract some guards there, and since the guards in this game don't respawn, I just lure them all into that area, and I basically just take out every armed guard in the level. But that does take a long time, so not always for the best. But yeah, like Hitman, I highly recommend it. Whether or not you want to do it stealthily or less stealthily, it is a massive amount of fun. And so to move on,
Are those kind of guards where it's like looking up, looking down? No thanks. It's just looking straight ahead for me.
oh, they will look up. Like it can be very annoying, honestly.
Yeah,
But
they're smarter than like Metal Gear Solid ones, but it's still like a really goofy, cartoony take
yeah,
on like how to
honestly,
approach.
if anything, part of the reason why I don't mind cheating is that the guards can genuinely be too sensitive. Like I cannot count the number of times I've accidentally trespassed into an area that I did not know I was trespassing in, and instead of them like politely telling me to leave, they will start screaming at me and trying to kill me. It's like, dude, I'm in a bank. What if I was just some random guy who was lost? What are you doing? Like the game, they can get way too overzealous with how quickly they will turn on you, especially on the higher difficulties.
Are you playing on PC?
I'm playing on Steam Deck.
Okay, so you're probably not getting any big fancy benefits of having a new computer.
I did all of this before I even had the PC.
Okay.
So moving on to the final two things. As I'm sure you know, GX, I got a Retrotink 5X. Um, and I used it at the raising at the, during the
Tell me
second
how
day of the
you
Raising Wing
killed
stream.
several guards with a Retrotink, please. This seems
Well,
to
you
be the
see, I
theme
guess
of the episode.
I just lured them into an area and I just lobbed it at them. And because like once I'm locked in, it homes in on them. It just followed them around the corner and just killed them. But anyway, so like I have been considering a retro tank for a very long time, and I've always decided I don't need it because it's like I'm happy with my crappy HDMI composite and component to HDMI things off of Amazon. I don't need to spend $350 or more on something that's better. But
So for those
then
listeners that are unaware, like myself, what is a retro tank?
well, I will get into that in a minute. But then the tariffs happened, and the RetroTink
Oh,
guy
sorry
announced
to it.
that he was going to stop selling to US sellers on these dates. I was like, oh crap. All right, well, if I'm gonna do this, I should probably just do it now. Like it basically finally spurred me to just get it. So a retro tank is basically an upscaler that will take analog connections and upscale them to a digital HDMI connection, specifically 1080p. And like it's a pretty advanced. It like you can add all these different effects to it, different kinds of CRT filters, and
Nice.
like you can do all these different kinds of resolutions, including like different kinds of like 1080p. Like you can simulate the overscan, or you can just make it show the whole picture. Um, or you can like do something that's in the middle, and it's like there's all these different options for you to like get the picture that's right for you. But what's most important about this thing is that the games you run through it look absolutely gorgeous.
I can
Like
attest to this.
my God, I do not regret my purchase for a second because, like, in my opinion, like my Samsung TV, it actually is a pretty decent upscaler. Um, like I've always been pretty happy with how it outputs my retro signals. But of course,
Which is
you didn't see
surprising
that.
because most TV built-in upscalers are absolute trash.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I've heard, but like I think the Samsung one is pretty solid. But of course, that didn't matter for streaming, which I've been doing more and more of, especially now with my new computer. And so it's like, okay, like at the very least, I could use this for streaming, and I'm sure this is going to still be an improvement over over the old $40 Amazon converters. But I was not expecting the results to be this good because it is just absolutely sharp. Absolutely sharp. It is amazing.
It was
And
whenever I watched you that streaming, it was borderline emulation quality.
yeah, except like I get to enjoy it on my original hardware, all of the original hardware stuff that I am now invested in. Like, over the last few years I have gotten like flash cards for all of my Sega consoles. So it's like, I'm pretty invested in the retro ecosystem now. So this was in many ways the final step. And like, yeah, I do not have any regrets. Like, if you have $350 or however much it'll be when he starts selling the US gamers again, I do recommend picking it up. And one of the games I played on stream was a stall, and this was one of the few games that I also like played on the Retrotink after the stream because I just got in the mood for it after playing it on Racing Rings. I was like, okay, I really want to see how far I can get on this, and see if maybe I can beat it. And spoiler alert, no, I did not beat a stall. It still remains unbeaten for me, but I have now remembered why, and that is because it is a game that has one continue and gives you a maximum of 5 lives for each continue, and there is no save function, which is very unfortunate because it is a very fun game. Um, like like it's a game that at first just kind of tries to grab you with its visuals. It's probably like one of the best looking 2D games of its era because it doesn't just like use like advanced sprites. It has like genuine 3D background. Sorry, not 3D. Genuine painted backgrounds that like look really good once they're run through a Retrotink. And like the game has this kind of this pastel art style to it that I really enjoy the colors of it. And it's also just like anime as hell, but the character designs are still fairly distinct. Like almost kind of Sonic-y. I can see why Patrick Spaziante often inserted S style into the Sonic comics because he kind of has that look. But like, but like as you do move through it, like the game gets visually even better, and the level designs get more complicated, and like I want and I was kind of reminded like there were a couple of moves that I had forgotten about while I was on stream, including like this. You can like smash the ground to stun enemies or have them fall out of the ceiling, and you can also like blow them to disarm. You can also like do things like
And do what to disarm them?
Estelle can also like blow air very hard. And at first it's like, okay, this is just like a way to briefly stun enemies. But then it's like you get to the fire level, and all of a sudden you're using it to like blow out fire serpents. Like
That's the review on the back of the box. Stall blows.
But like it is just a really fun 2D action game that I really wish Sega would have some excuse to port or emulate onto modern hardware because I think like I do think it still ages surprisingly well. Anyway, so that's all I'll have to say. I'm actually cutting my Estelle talk short because I've been going on for way too long. So GX, as I understand it, you've been playing something called the Blueprints or Blueprints.
It's called. So I have been playing Blueprints, Prince, a game about blueprints, Prints.
Ah,
I'm about to use a series of words that frighten some people as they come out of my mouth, but
Roguelike?
please, I beg you to stick around. Blueprint is a puzzle adventure roguelike deck builder.
I knew that roguelike was going to be in there somewhere.
Uh, it's a very interesting, strange game, and I'll kind of get to how that comes into play. It's a game that I would say I I like it most of the time, but it comes with some pretty big caveat, which this has kind of been this is one of the big current indie darlings.
Ah,
That isn't necessary. No, there's a handful. They come up every so often, but this is the big puzzle solving one at the moment. But yeah, so the premise of the game is that are a you are a boy who has inherited your, I think, uncle or great uncle's estate and fortune on the condition that you enter his house and are able to find the mysterious 46th room of his 45-room estate.
eh,
And you do so effectively by every day, every morning. You enter main hallway, basically the entrance hallway. And whenever you approach a door, it pops up with three possible rooms that could be behind it. Get the choice which. And every room that you select has some sort of effect. It has a select number of doorways that you could exit from, or possibly no other doorways. It could have items, it could have resources that you use, but in general, what you're trying to do, enter in and make your way to this final room. Uh, it's the kind of thing where it's a little difficult for me to talk about too much because it is sort of a puzzle adventure game, much in the same way that I would classify Myst as a puzzle adventure game, where a lot of what the actual game is about is attempting to solve the mysteries of your family and the house and the area that the house was built on, and eventually just come to some realization about like the nature of the world that you are in. Um, I don't think that gives too much away, but in general, that is what you're. The So the deck building part, you're generally trying to toss up ideas of like, okay, I know that this type of room is going to contain this type of resource. It's likely to contain a useful item or like gems. Gems are usually good for being able to select rarer rooms whenever you make your selection. Money, which is good for just buying items at various shops throughout the house. Or food, which basically gives you a certain amount of steps. If you run out of steps, which a step is considered moving from one room to another, whether you've been to that room or not, you basically get tired immediately in the day. If you don't
hmm.
have gems, well, then you're kind of a little bit more limited in what rooms you select. And money is just things around the house to acquire other. But beyond that, you're basically going in. Oh, and keys. Plenty of locked doors. Certain rules can apply to locked doors, certain special things, but as you're going through collecting these resources, you'll run across specific rooms with specific qualities. So, uh, I'll try to pick a fairly early and generic. Um, you will pretty early on run into a dark room for developing photograph, and effectively, when you jump into that room, it has a room effect. I believe that room's effect specifically is going to be you can't see your choices of rooms. You just have to make them without being able to see, which, you know, adds an extra degree of challenge. However, you can find rooms that impact other rooms. So if you happen to find a utility closet with a surge protector in it, you could turn the lights on and negate both that effect, and might also find some interesting puzzle solving elements in that room
Hmm.
with the lights on. Uh, and effectively, it just twists and turns. You begin to notice very specific things around the rooms, very specific qualities that the rooms have, uh, some decor that seems rather noteworthy. As you progress and start to know, like, okay, I think I have a sense of what this particular thing is going to be used to solve elsewhere. So it turns into a game of, well, I'm not necessarily trying to get to the 46th room this run, but if I could line up this room with this room, then I could make headway on attempting to solve this puzzle. And it just continues to build different puzzles upon different puzzles upon different puzzles until you eventually either complete the game by getting through all the rooms or figuring out whatever puzzles you want to solve and pursue those. Um, to be completely honest, there is a lot more to this game than you probably see within a single successful run. This game is extremely dense. Let's say there is eight, pri- 7 or 8 primary collectibles throughout the game. These are like the big things that have significant amount of lore attached to them for you to uncover. I was able to get to 3 of them by the end of the game.
Hmm.
There are puzzles that I still do not have a good sense of, like, okay, I see this information, I'm trying to record this information, but I get a sense that it's useful, but I don't exactly know how it's useful yet. And that kind of runs into some of the big frustration with this game. Uh, I think my biggest criticism, and this is probably one of the biggest criticisms in general that people have had with it, it's a really cool feeling when things line up perfectly. When you get the room that you need with the item that you need for it at the right time in the right run, that's a really satisfying experience. And
Huh.
having 2 of the 3 things that you need and being completely unable to find the third part of it is really, really frustrating.
Huh.
There are a handful of ways that you can kind of manually line things up or prepare for things, but there aren't as many as would be kind of ideal. The kind of feeling that it can be a really satisfying roguelike experience. It can be a really satisfying puzzle adventure game experience, but the two of those do not always shake hands. Uh it is going to be a game for people who are going to be extremely patient, who can kind of feel like, okay, if I can't accomplish the thing that I directly want to this run, is there anything else that I could reasonably accomplish this run in order to make some degree of permanent progress, either through something that I can change in the world or a piece of information that I can screenshot or write down or take notes on in order to bring to another another run with me. Uh, there's a big item that is, we'll say, very contextually important. It's one of the items that you can get is a magnifying glass. And the thing that the magnifying glass does is it just lets you zoom in on documents in such a way that you can see them a little bit more clearly, or make out details that you couldn't otherwise make out in the game proper, just looking at these documents. And
Hmm.
whether or not you have that whenever you get to a new room and find a document in it, can kind of feel like it makes or breaks it. Because if you see a small detail, like the game is designed that, like, hey, you 9 times out of 10, you can't just squint and see, like, oh, this is actually. No, you actually have to have the magnifying glass in order to specific detail. I got to some rooms where it was like, oh, cool, I found a new note with new information. Crap! There's something written at the bottom here that I can't see. I have to find this room again with the magnifying glass so that I can find the detail that might recontextualize things that might not. Like, there's details in this that dramatically change things about your understanding of the game. So
Yeah, I feel like this game's gonna need a lot more stabbing and shooting for me
it
to
does not
get
have
into it.
stabbing or shooting. No, it has a lot of. Hey, do you like games like Myst? You might be able to like this as long as you can, have the patience for the
Oh,
style
miss
of
that
puzzle solving.
boring ass PC game.
Doesn't have
Nah.
enough killing for Alex.
Uh,
Yeah.
He needs his killing.
Apparently,
fixed.
I like it. It's a game that is extremely satisfying. Its puzzle, like I'm coming into this. I have a few of these every so often. Like last major one I played through was Lorelei and the Laser Eye, which really great puzzles, really fantastic puzzle game.
That's another game I looked into and was like, oh no, this is not for me at all.
Yeah, that one's for real puzzle perverts. Like that one's like, hey, do you want to recontextualize a series of numbers and try to decipher complex codes? Because that's what that game is. It's a lot of that. Blueprints is a little bit of that. You certainly don't have to 100% engage with it on that level in order to see credits, but it certainly does unpack a lot about what that game is if you are willing to engage with it in that way.
Hmm.
It's it's a really interesting, fascinating game that has some really big caveats, but I I saw credits. I kind of stopped. I felt like I had to stop because another one of the biggest things that one of the biggest things that Lorelei and the Laser Eyes did so well was it gave you sort of this. The character had, air quotes, photographic memory. So any document, any photograph that you saw in the game would be able to reference in a menu. This is not true for blueprints. I have a folder in my desktop that is just dozens upon dozens upon dozens of screenshots, part of which are like, okay, I know this is a puzzle I would have to solve, and some of which are like, this might be important, but
Man,
if I
that's something I did on the 3DS for like way less complicated games.
but yeah, it's hey, if you're a puzzle sicko, this game's probably gonna be for you. If you're not a puzzle sicko, then it might be a bit much. So yeah, let's let's do.
All right, so
This is my
moving
transition.
into yeah, I know. Moving into general news, specifically Sonic Rumble news. So
Must be nice to play it.
when we
You
last
can play it, my dude.
when we last met on here, we assumed that the next episode would be all about the public release of Sonic Rumble,
We
the
sure
global
did. We
release.
scheduled it around it.
Yep.
And then it got delayed. The global launch has been delayed. No new date has been given, and like this is starting to feel like a trend.
So okay, so I have a pretty good like I have a reasonable feeling of like what people are freaking out. It's like, oh, is this game ever like? Is this game ever gonna come out? They keep delaying the game. I'm so worried about this game. When I mean, number one, people need to freaking chill out about this game. People are having a weird emotional connection to this game coming out that is deeply
it's not
concerning
like it's
to
a major
me.
Sonic release or anything.
But like we got a new Sonic game less than 12 months ago. Like,
well, I don't think it's about being desperate for new content. Like the most common refrain I see is people being worried that the game is that the game is going to fail. And let me be honest, I feel like the game had a lot of momentum going into its planned release over the past month. Like we saw its registrations skyrocket. We saw we saw it like launch a awesome new event that got a lot of eyes. And we saw them launch their creators program, and so like there was this big buildup of content and consumer excitement, and I think there is some reasonable concern that is all is going to be blunted by this last minute delay.
I mean, number one, unless you are a business weirdo like me, you shouldn't worry about that.
I mean, like if the game fails and the game dies, and then you don't get to play anymore. Like, if there's any kind of game that people should be worried about whether or not it's failed, it fails. It's a live service game, because if a live service game dies, then you don't get to play it anymore. There you go.
I mean, all the more reason to kind of be cautious with where you're putting your money, or at least appreciate that the money I want to spend in this is money that I want to spend for something right now, not for future content.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, obviously, but I'm just talking about general play, not necessarily player investment.
Sure. but like, I will say fully, I think the first delay was a very good strategic choice given the outcomes. Whether or not you really wish you could be playing this game right now, I think that this first delay was probably a good idea based on the stuff that they are putting into it.
As someone who has been playing it since October, it is in a much better place now than where it was back in December. Like the economy and the store and the amount of content available is much more than where it was, and I think that like the game feels ready for prime time now, which is part of why this is a little frustrating for me. But
well, this delay very much like the first delay is, hey, we have features that we think we need in order to be as successful as we want to be. This delay is project leader, hat in hands. Hey, we might need a bit more. We might have overscoped a little bit. We might need a little bit more time.
Basically, they were going to launch a whole bunch of new features for the global release, which, like, to me, that sounds like a great idea. But according to them, it's apparently like, okay, but now we realize we need time to polish all of these features and make sure that they are all well balanced, and that they are where we want them to be, because we want to give all these players a good first impression. Which, like, again, like, I get it, it makes sense, but how did they only realize this a week beforehand?
Oh,
and not when they decided that they were going to do all these features months ago?
Oh, no development.
Companies that say this game is still in beta, even though it's like 90% done.
No, I can tell you from working on development teams, there's one of two things that happens. Number
Yeah.
one is, oh, you want all that? Sure, we can do that. We are very confident that we can accomplish all of the things on this big list of things. Like, as long as we don't run into issues, and I mean, as long as we don't run into issues, when do issues ever happen? When does anything complex or troubling or challenging problem solving ever come up with that? When does that ever? Or the other answer is like, okay, we're gonna be cutting it real short here, but we think we can. If we can't, we'll just have to ask for another few weeks.
Well, see, that sounds like a reason to delay the update, which they did not delay the update. And having spent
Well,
a few hours playing the update, I'm genuinely not sure what else they could really improve with this
I
stuff
mean,
at
it
this
sounds
point.
like they weren't consistent with the update, though. It sounded like they put the update out for initial testing and then retracted it.
I don't know. I don't think so. Like, creators did get access to a special beta that specifically allowed us to play the it allowed us to like level up a bunch of skills in the game and get lots of experience with all the different player skills. But like all this stuff also rolled out to the regular international players too.
Okay, so and I don't know, the Steam thing is like,
But like so like I am the only person who's played all of this stuff, so I guess I might as well go into my impressions of everything.
sure.
One of the
Sure.
big things that they have been trumpeting are crews, which basically what crews seem to do is it throws you into a group with a bunch of other players, and you each play individually to build up the crew point
This
total.
is actually a pretty common mechanism free to play, where it's sort of like joining a guild in a lot of sense. Like
Yeah,
whenever I played that stupid Fist of the North card game, it's like, hey, join a group, join a club or whatever it is, and you can all get together. You could be a part of the group, and then what do you do in the group? Like, you play, and if everyone plays well, then the group gets rewards or recognition or
and
something.
yeah, like and the current mission is get points. I'm assuming that in the future there will be other kinds of missions, like maybe destroying a certain amount of enemies or something. But like for this one, it's get a lot of points, and once you get and the more points you all get, the more rewards you get.
I I
And
I can't say I
yeah,
see
as you
value in
described
this
it.
feature. Like, I
Like
have
for me, like the value for me is just that hey, there's another way to get rings and stuff. So I'm not going to say no to that. But at the same time, I'm not really sure what there is here that needs to be polished. So it's like okay, so there's that component of it, and then there's also like a crew menu where you can like there's like a chat, there's like a crew chat where you can like send emojis and pre-written phrases and stuff.
great. That's like I said, I will resume my statement. This feels like an unnecessary feature.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I was expecting something more along the lines of like you work with your crew in like cooperative missions or
That's
something.
what
Because
you
it's
would
like,
want, isn't it? Like,
yeah, and
it would
you
be
know
like
what?
priority matchmaking.
Maybe that's something that's coming. Like, because like with the challenge mode, there is a 4-player challenge mode that you can get involved in. Um, and like that gets you like red rings and stuff, and that's not something I've ever really messed with. But I would assume that I kind of assume that that's something that you might use crews for, but as far as I can tell, that doesn't really appear to be the case yet. Um, oh, and so there's crews, and then there's also Rumble rankings, which is in this one, like you are thrown into a random group of like 100 players, and you move up the rankings by again just getting points in game. And the better you do in Rumble rankings, the better prize you will get at the end of a certain play period. At the moment, I think I'm at like number 15 on the Sonic Stadium account. And like it does kind of incentivize me to play, but again, like this doesn't really feel like a feature that needs polish, and unless there's like some major missing component that I'm unaware of.
I just continue to have the weird, like, it sounds like I enjoyed actually getting into the game and playing rounds of it. And what I did not care for was all of the crap that they built around it to give that structure. I think the structure of this game is mobile game trash. I think the game itself is pretty great, pretty solid, but it just feels like they're laying more and more, more and more mobile game cruft on top of something that is otherwise, straightforward and kind of good to kind of build in those Skinner box
I mean,
behaviors.
at this point, I don't entirely mind because these are ways that you can like that you can like get rings and level up your skills, which I'll be getting into in a moment. But like leveling up skills, the first thing that you can level up that actually feels like is something you'd actually want to level up. Um, so we also got some new levels, City Escape and Sweet Mountain. Fun fact, I have played this update for hours, and I have never got City Escape Run. Not once. And
Wow.
that has been infuriating because I have been wanting to record it for Sonic Stadium, but I can never get it. It is like but like the
But
other ones that I've played.
you have to wait for
uh,
Callie and Marie to pop up to tell you that it's one of the three stages available right now.
I wish we had a system like that. But anyway, so like City Escape Ring Battle, that is a lot of fun. It kind of simulates the truck chasing sequence where all the players get chased by trucks and they have to like hit these boost pads and boost ramps while avoiding the traffic and getting rings, and it's very fun and frantic, and has a awesome soundtrack. Like I love the jazzy City Escape.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
fantastic.
and and the Sweet Mountain Run is also a lot of fun. That has like a section where you can like move between different kinds of platforms. There's like a platform that crumbles, and a platform that bounces, and and so like it's really fun just kind of navigating across these chasms of sweeps using those different kinds of platforms. And then there's like areas where you can like land on different rails and stuff and like, jump between them. Probably one of the only instances in this game so far where the rails don't feel like something you actually interact with and not just an automated speed thing. Um, and the Sweet Mountain, the ring battle one, that's not as good. It's like this 2D thing where you have to like navigate upwards, and you gather rings are being dropped by these chef robots as the level slowly shrinks. Um, so it's like really solid additions from what I've played. The Lava Mountain Run 3 is also another really good one. That one has a lot of minecart action, which I also appreciate. But like yeah, so the levels are fun. We got new characters like the Black Knight characters, which that's always cool. Um, but we also have a new co-op boss battle, which is a kind of a new rendition of Death Queen from Sonic Forces. And this thing is hard, but like I really enjoy it. Like I hope this game gets more of these cooperative challenges in the future, because basically like you are in with a whole group of 32 other players just attacking this giant wasp that has these various attacks and has all these different phases. Like every time you manage to damage it enough, it will destroy the arena, and you'll fall down to a lower one with like a with different stuff on it, and it is always really tight. Like I've only ever properly beaten the damn thing once, and once you beat it, there is an elite version where the health is doubled. And frankly, I think that thing needs to be kind of balanced a bit because that thing has just been impossible. Like it really does seem to rely on all of the players actually knowing what they're doing and getting their hicks in.
Yeah, how can you
Like
cheat your way out of that?
like if only like if only like a few of the players really know what you're doing, you are screwed. Finally, we have the skills, and a lot of people like the skills, but my view
Do
is
they
a
pay the
little
bill?
more mixed. What?
Nothing. Never mind.
I appreciate the
My
joke.
my view on them is a little more mixed. Because basically it kind of comes down to just sort of how you assign them, and also just simply how useful they are. Like a lot of skills, they're just like attacks, and these attacks aren't targeted. And in a game like this, that makes them very difficult to land. So it's like you know, if you happen, you can just like hit the attack, and maybe a player will be in front of you, and maybe you'll hit them, and you'll get some rings. But it really it depends on the kind of mission that you're in. Because like in the run levels, like the attacks are nearly impossible to land, aside from when you are like stuck in like one of those bottleneck areas. Then you can like if you want to be cheap and get some rings, you can just like hit somebody and get them. But like okay, I kind of got ahead of myself. There are various kinds of skills though. There are attack skills, and these attacks are mostly either stationary or very difficult to control. There are skills that will boost you forward, like running skills. There's this one skill that's like an air dash, which I find very useful for like giving you an extra oomph over gaps. And then there are skills that will either block attacks or make you invincible for a certain period of time, and those can be very useful in things where you are being attacked by like bosses or something.
So
Like it's very
I'm
go on.
observing some of the video that you've done before and like some of the patch notes and stuff. It looks like the way that they've managed them is you have generic skills that anybody can equip, and then you have specific skills that are attached to.
Yeah, that is correct.
Do you feel like the specific ones are particularly more than the more generic ones, or
It depends. I only had the chance to play with the specific skills of a few characters, but like Amy's hammer, once I leveled that up, I found that pretty useful. I was able to get some hicks with it, even in the middle of runs. Like sometimes my use of a particular skill significantly affected my ability to win a match. Um,
that's a dramatic change to the nature of this game.
but like but like by and large, I just sort of found them difficult to use, and I often just sort of ignored them. Especially early on, like I would often sabotage myself more than help myself with the skills, aside from very specific circumstances. Um, and another thing about the skills is that before they're leveled up, they are very weak. Mostly. Like, I think there was like one attack one that I felt had a decent kick to it, even without being leveled up. But no, it wasn't attack. Bubble, which is like an invincibility skill. That one gives you a decent amount of invincibility, albeit it also takes away your ability to move. And that is a very useful skill when you were fighting a boss or in a survival mission, because you can like use that to get yourself out of a tough spot or to like survive an enemy's area attack. Like one of the final Sonic Rumble play sessions I did, I was like able to just it was against that boss that has the ring chest on its back. I was able to survive one of its area attacks by hitting it, and then I was able to just wail on it and get a whole bunch of rings while everyone else had to keep their distance from it. I still lost, but I got a lot more than I would have otherwise. But like by and large, I'm not entirely sure how much this is really going to change the game. Like it does feel like something that can be useful, but just feels extremely situational. And the game
Contextual, yeah.
does play to that to an extent, because there's two ways you can equip these skills. You can either equip them for different kinds of specific missions, or you can just equip two in total and take them through an entire run. Now, the issue with equipping them for specific kinds of missions is that you can only equip one kind of skill, one skill to one kind of mission. And so it's like, hey, there are a few skills that I just find useful in general, and I would probably use them across multiple level types, but I just can't. like the like the air dash, which is the first one I max leveled up. Like that is one that I will just stick in every single one, because it's always good to have an extra bit of boost in the air in this game. So that is one thing that I feel like, that's one limitation I feel like they wouldn't really need to have. Another issue is that all of these things have a cooldown. You cannot use them at the start of a level, and once you use them, you have to wait a while for them to come back. So you have to use them very strategically. And if you like misuse them, if you mistime them, you're basically out of it for a good chunk of that run.
I do like that it takes like 15 seconds, whatever, until you can use it the first time. Like there's a real risk of just everyone popping it off right at the immediate beginning, and then like
Sure,
just
but I do kind
creating
of
a
feel like there's at
nonsense
least
explosion at first.
I do kind of feel like there's at least like some more neutral non-attack ones that don't really need a cooldown, like the air dash. But at the same time, like admittedly, I guess this is probably important for balancing the
Yeah.
skills in this game.
I can see a lot of situations where air dash is extremely important as to why you would want to not let them do it all the time, because that would give someone an incredible edge if they could just air dash constantly.
But as you
Yeah.
level it up, it does become better. Like attacks will get some more kickback, or they will get some more range. Like area attacks become more effective after they are max leveled. You can reduce the cooldown. I think twice, I believe, and like and you can also like make them go faster or whatever. You can improve them up to 4 times from level 1 to level 5. And I do find that a bunch of these do become more useful once you have leveled them up. Um so so yeah, like it definitely does change the game, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to be using the breadth of these so far. Like there is a Tails one where he will like blast himself forward, which which might be useful for certain levels that have straightaways. Which is another issue. Like even in specific level types, like not every level type will be useful for the same kind of move either.
It looks like you have multiple loadouts based on if it's run or survival type hunt or team based.
Yeah, like I said,
Things.
you have two methods of assigning skills. You can just run 2 skills throughout an entire run, or you can have or you can have like 2 skills for each kind of mission. But it's like, okay, so bubble. That's the thing that where you will float in the air and you are temporarily invincible. That is very useful for certain survival missions where like you're in a stationary area and like enemies are going to like be coming at you, or or like beams will be sweeping an area or something, and then okay, that's fine. But then there's like Starlight Carnival Survival, where it's constantly moving, and while you're in the bubble, you can't move. So if you use that, you're basically just gonna die. So it's like, yeah, like even like in the mix of these specific mission level types, how useful they are will vary wildly. And I think that I do kind of consider that a bit of a design flaw. So that is everything from the update. So in addition to that, we do have some data mined characters, few of which have me fairly excited. This is not something that we will be reporting on Sonic Stadium proper. We also will not be showing it on stream because we are in the creators program, so we're not testing that. But
Yeah, you don't want to
we
piss off anybody.
but like we are, but the new update has been data mined, and we are getting Sonic Prime characters. Which,
Okay.
man, I am so happy that Sega is like keeping the stuff from that series around. Like they were serious when they said like, yeah, this is canon, because they have been treating it as just like an extension of the standard Sonic brand.
I mean, no,
Please don't
let's
mention
not
canon again.
let's not say that's part of canon. It's just part of what their current brand is focused on. Like the movie isn't canon, but the movie is constantly in all of their mobile crossover nonsense. Like it's just
Yeah.
Well, like
part of what's
the
important in the.
movies might become part of the
You
multiverse
all
for
have
all we
something
know once
No, it
Sonic
won't.
Prime mentioned.
You talk.
if it pops up in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, that will be confirmation that yeah, it's in the multiverse. But like yeah, like Sonic Prime, it's in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Now it's coming to this. We're getting. I'm
coming
kind of
to your
surprised by this.
hometown soon.
What did you say?
Said coming to your hometown soon.
I'm kind of surprised by the selection though, because like generally we've been getting like Rusty Rose and Knuckles and Dread the Pirate or whatever his name is. But this is like dystopian universe Sonic, I think. Rebel, 9, and Mr. Dr. Eggman. I do really like how Mr. Dr. Eggman looks in this style.
I like Sonic Prime quite a bit. I would say more than most, but I would also say like the designs of those characters aren't what I like about it.
Well, I've always liked the dystopian universe designs. Although I don't know, maybe that's just the Archie Sonic in me climbing to the top.
I think it's very much the Archie Sonic in you.
Yeah.
Now, what I did not care for was the designs from the Jungle World.
I I like that. I like the stories it tells, but also these characters are just the characters. Like they just made the characters and put a bunch of crap on them. It's like when it's like the frustration I felt whenever I hopped into our chat and people were excited for they have Knight Jet. They have Jet, but he's the Knight. They finally added that one to the mobile game. Like,
yeah, I
wait,
know. I did the article on that.
no, and I'm just sitting here as like, why does anyone care? That's not even a good game, and he's not even an important character in it.
It's representation from an old game. Although honestly, at this point, like it's not novel anymore.
No, it isn't. They just started making them up at some point. It's like we just changed who Amy. Like we added a new D&D styled character to be able to fit into this. Like we made it. We invented a new knight version of Tails, even though Tails was a blacksmith in that world.
We got Warlock Infinite and Valhalla Surge. Just everyone's going to the D&D campaign right now. but anyway, we did get ahead a little. But and also we are getting movie Shadow.
Whatever.
What?
Those two the problem is those two characters look too much like their normal characters to be like, what? Like, it just looked like Sonic and Shadow.
I think the real question is whether or not we're going to get any of the movie universe human characters. Like,
No, of course we're not.
No,
Are you kidding
of
me?
course not. I can see Tom running.
They'd have to pay for
and
likenesses.
dashing.
probably keep them different enough. It's like, yeah, it's the cop guy, and
They would have to pay. There is no way they couldn't. There is no way they could weasel their way out of not paying for likenesses, my dude.
well, they are. Well, I don't know. Like, this is a game
Wait.
that's probably gonna be paying for a lot of licenses. So I'm sure that's in the budget.
Which other mobile game or non-mobile related game has had that? Like, we got the Shadow DLC. They paid to have
closest we've
Keanu
ever-
Reeves' voice. They did not pay for any other characters or
The
likenesses for
closest
that.
we ever got was, I believe, we got Jim Carrey's Robotnik in Sonic Dash once in 2019.
I think we did for a little bit, but that was
2020?
before that movie series was clearly going to be.
Yeah.
Like,
But,
they could ask for actual money now.
I don't know. They could probably just like take Robotnik and give him like Jim Carrey's costume or something. Anyway, moving on to the mobile corner. Real quick, Marine has landed in Sonic Forces, which, as I've said before on this show, makes me very happy. She brought with her a little water move that had her just like shooting 2 droplets of water ahead of her on the track. But also, what's way cooler for me was what they brought in the Ski-Doo thing from Sonic Rush Adventure, and she rides it as her speed boost move. So that is pretty cool to me personally, since this game doesn't have much in the way of vehicles.
For differentiation between characters.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think. Well, I mean, it has more than Sonic Dash, but and also we have as GX unceremoniously revealed earlier, Sir Lamorak is coming to Sonic Forces and Sonic Dash, which is, for those who don't know, that's just like Jakks in a night outfit.
You too can play. You too can be reminded that terrible game also had a terrible multiplayer mode.
Yeah, like this is the last remaining character from the multiplayer.
Well, no, you can't play as King Arthur.
Wait, was King Arthur in the multiplayer?
Pretty sure he was playable in that or something.
Wow. Like, I never actually played the multiplayer.
Yeah, because it was bad.
The honest part of that game is it got worse after you unlock the extra characters. Like, Sonic already didn't play very well. The others just, for some reason, played much worse.
I've been playing worse, but then again, like I said, I don't think the game is very good, and so maybe I just couldn't differentiate between bad and worse. But anyway, Sir Lamorak does represent the final member of the round table, at least, to join the mobile gaming roster, and I'm guessing eventually he'll also make his way into Sonic Rumble.
No, they're going to keep inventing knights to jam into the game. If it's not going to be knights, it's going to be, well, okay, let's invent new characters of the vaguely Middle East variety.
All right.
For
what they need to do is they need to bring Knights from Nights into Dreams into these games, and then they need to make a Knight version of Knights and call it Knights.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Oh no.
Yes. I want one of my favorite games to get a rep in this.
Oh.
No, and then also bring it to Sonic Rumble. Yes.
Joke is
all right.
Bad. For the love of God, we're moving on.
It's what I want.
Tell me about Sega shops. Tell me about something else that I also think is stupid.
All right, yeah, okay. So we actually got a press release for this one. Which,
why? Why did we get a press release?
It never ceases to surprise me what they'll send me a press release for. Not
for our vast Chinese speaking audience. Here's a press release for a
so
store that's only
Sega's-
going to be in Shanghai.
the first Sega store, which I don't know if that's being ambitious or not. The first Sega store is opening in Shanghai with exclusive merch inspired by local stuff, the local flair or whatever.
I see a lot
and
of Sonic plush. Is the Sonic plush the
yes,
local flair?
no, like there was also like a Sonic fan,
I
like the fan that you wave with your hand and you
I
like cool yourself off.
so I'm not gonna say that Sonic has to live up to the standard that Pokemon sets, but I fundamentally understand that every single Pokemon store has some form of exclusive regional regionally appropriate merchandise. And I feel like more thought was put into the Pokemon ones than whatever they're doing here for Sonic or the Sega store.
Well, let's be honest. I'm sure the Pokemon ones have a lot more money behind them
Sure.
and their research and everything. Like,
The only thing I could think of that would be that appropriate for here would be like they probably should have a shirt where it asks for sailors. That seems like the most regional.
yeah, like well, technically, like that was from the Shenmue game that took place in Yokosuka, Japan.
Ah, fair
But
enough.
I get what you mean.
Now I get to tell
But
the joke that doesn't land.
but like I'm sure there's a Shenmue quote that could be placed in China
Lucky
somewhere,
hit!
although not. It
Lucky
would have to be in
hit!
Hong
Lucky hit!
Kong.
Let me play Lucky Hit.
Yes, lucky hit. That's closer. Um,
Uh,
but in addition, but yeah, it is mostly Sonic merchandise.
it's
But
mostly Sonic merchandise. Like, you see the
there's
picture
also
of it.
Persona
Yeah.
and Yakuza, and at the very least, Puyo Puyo, Monkey Ball, Sakura Wars, Metaphor, Shinobi, all that stuff has like representation on the store displays. I'm not entirely sure if that's like in
But you look at
like
you actually look at the store merchandise. It's like here's a giant pile of just Sonic plush. Here's a couple shirts of Yakuza. Here's some blind boxes of something for Persona 5. I don't know.
there's definitely some Persona 5. Oh, hey, there's some sort of Pirate Hawaii merchandise in here.
There you go.
Like I think that's either a blind box or I don't know, something small.
I was unimpressed by the photos.
Yeah, like admittedly, I have not been impressed by one of these company stores since I was like 10. Like when I was a child, I loved going to the Disney store because there was like spectacle there.
Oh, they
And like
designed those stores. Like that
yes,
was very designed.
and like they had like all this cool looking Disney stuff that you couldn't actually find in regular stores. But of course, it was in the mall that was
And they
like
have little animatronics on the walls and everything. It was
yeah,
like having a little piece of Disneyland with you, you know.
You
like
still get store experiences like that, but you see them in a lot of like amusement parks.
Yeah.
you don't get them. You definitely don't get them in Disney stores anymore. Like by the time like this Disney store was like 40 minutes away from me, but by the time I got a local one, it was like, yeah, it just sells clothes now.
It doesn't have
Sorry.
the big central
I'm
pillar of plush.
No,
Oh, that was the staple of those stores.
I'm
like
kind of
I
lucky
got
in
in like the
that.
mid 2000s.
I'm kind of lucky in that we have a Disney store about half hour from when I drive. That's an outlet that gets the merchandise from the both Disney World and Disneyland, some older stuff for clearance. It's kind of nice.
Huh.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't have the animatronics on the walls or anything like that, but still pretty cool.
I'm guessing those things were just expensive to maintain. Um, but okay, so according to the press release, there were also interactive displays and photo opportunities, whatever those would be. I don't know if like the Sega president would like show up and let you take photos with him, or maybe it was just a Sonic mascot or something. I don't know. um,
Find me to
But
yell at you later for not compressing your images.
hey, I don't have time for that. But
Bull crap!
anyway.
I don't have time to load this frickin' I don't know, 12,000 by 12,000 image got going on here.
Oh, Dread also uploads big
Yeah, I
images.
know he does. It bugs me when he does it too. It's very user unfriendly. I'm
But
going to force
anyway.
us all into a WebP standard. I'm gonna be that person.
Oh, please don't. Anyway, moving on. Uh, this is not really a kind of store that I am all that interested in right now. If it comes my way, I maybe if the merch is cooler, I will like go out of my way to go there. But just looking at this store, I don't have a lot of interest in it. Shigs, would you go to a store like this?
If it was nearby, sure, but all the way in Shanghai, no.
I'm just let's just say I don't know a 2 hour drive away.
Okay, a 2-hour drive away, yeah, I'd check it out for
Okay,
sure.
I probably wouldn't unless it was for the site. So moving on to cooler merchandise, we have they also sent a press release for this, but this one makes sense. DC X Sonic toys were announced, including action figures and plushies. Um,
I could have sworn
so
this was announced already a while back.
well, like they at least announced merchandise, but they didn't like announce
They said we
the
were going to
specifics.
make merchandise. Now they're telling us at least the classifications of merchandise
Ah,
that they plan on making.
Yeah, so it's
ah.
gonna be made by Jakks Specific. Um, and so we will be getting articulate action figures, and we'll be getting plushies, and of both not just the Sonic figures, but also the DC characters. Which I am wondering how that's going to work. Is it just gonna be like a generic toy Superman, but like Sonic is on the box, or what?
They're just gonna steal the mold from existing DC
My
character
guess,
stuff and then jam them into one package. I
my
don't know.
guess, it's a 2-pack. It's a 2-pack. You'll get
Oh, okay.
Sonic with
Yeah,
Flash,
probably.
Superman with Knuckles,
Yeah, probably.
and then they'll probably have figures that are a combination of the two, like you've been seeing on the covers and that.
Yeah. You know what? I could see myself getting at least the Sonic Flash thing.
I wouldn't.
Um,
I think the superhero designs for them. Well, no, they don't. No, I take that back. They don't look stupid. I think they look boring. I think that they took the most literal, unstylized interpretation of how to dress these as the other thing as they could. Like, I looked at the Shadow cover today, and it was just a reminder of like, yeah, that just
yeah.
looks like Shadow, and they drew a bunch of or Batman crap on him. As like, did they do anything? They add any cool, interesting detail? No, it's all of the things that you see on
Oh,
Batman, but it's
and
Shadow.
we will also be getting vehicles, which like I am again wondering, are we gonna like be getting like Shadow in a Batmobile, or is it just be like Hot Wheels but with like the designs on it? I'm hoping for Shadow in a Batmobile. That again, I might actually get.
I will get it if Shadow is sitting on Batman's lap.
What if you can? What if it's big enough that you could make that happen, but it's not technically what you're supposed to do?
That's not what I asked for.
But I would also get a Shadow Batman if the cloth, if the cape is cloth. If it's a plastic cape, I'm not interested.
It's probably a plastic cape. I would be shocked if they had a cloth cape. That's very unusual for action figures.
But I don't know. Like I'm looking forward to seeing like the quality of these things. If it's gonna be like a cheap, or if they're gonna like put some effort into it, because Jakks Pacific can make a good action figure. Like
Which
I think a lot of the Sonic stuff they do make is pretty good.
okay. Which Batmobile does Shadow drive?
Uh,
Which of the Batmobiles is Shadow's Batmobile?
I mean, if I'm being honest, the only one I can even remember is the one from the DCAU, so I guess that one.
That you don't think Shadow would be a
No, he
Tumblr
gets
guy?
the He
Oh
gets the
yeah.
Batman and Robin.
You know what? He would
A little-
probably drive that one.
It looks all cheesy.
Like, I think he'd appreciate the all-terrain nature of it.
Eh,
Also, it kind of looks like something you could probably find in the Shadow the Hedgehog game, if I'm being honest.
yeah, kinda. Like, no, anything that you would find in the Shadow game would be gun style. So I'm a little bit skeptical of that, but
Ooh,
uh,
what if Amy gets the invisible plane?
great. Just what I want.
So would it be like transparent plastic, or would it just be like an empty spot in the box?
God, I want Shadow to ride around in the '60s Batmobile. That's the Batmobile
They
for
did that
me.
by the. They did do that once for a Hot Wheels thing where they had the invisible jet and it was just an empty box.
Oh my-
Okay, sure.
You know what they're probably gonna do, because Sega's no fun. So they're probably gonna put Shadow on just a back themed motorcycle, because Shadow already drives motorcycles.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's
Now, if they can make it so that like Shadow and Batman are both riding the motorcycle, and Shadow has to like hold him from behind,
I will
then
also
maybe I'm
accept.
interested again.
I will also accept this as opposed to sitting on Batman's lap. Both of those are acceptable.
um,
Look,
Shigs,
I'm just trying to come up with any possible way to make this homoerotically
Shigs, are you considering getting any of this stuff?
Sure, I'll check it out for sure. I'm still trying to get Tangle in any way. At any
Yeah, I
Walmart.
need to check my local Walmart and see if any
They're
of that
not
new
on.
Jack specific
Yeah,
stuff dropped.
it's not on the website or app, and the eBay one that outside of that one that happened, you don't see them anymore.
Well, like that one guy on eBay on YouTube did get it somehow, so they must be out there. So in
Yeah,
addition to that, we also got a bunch of DCX Sonic plushies released on Shopee Philippines, which a lot of people on there are saying, well, that is obviously um, counterfeit, and like maybe they are, but by and large, I think these things look good enough to be official. Like
so
when I
it's
was going through that website, looking at all the different Sonic plushies, trying to locate these things, and the counterfeit ones can look really bad.
like if these are counterfeit, then they're probably styled on ones that actually exist on some production line somewhere.
Yeah. Like you suggested that, and that just instantly clicked for me that yeah, like these could be fake, but they are probably pretty similar to what we'll actually be getting, because it's like when you look at these plushies are like, I think they're like 6 inches tall or something like that. They're not big plushies. And like Sonic plushies, they generally aren't great quality when they're that size, unless it's like Great Eastern Entertainment or something. Like they will often be very off model. Yeah, but it's not
We've
like
all
these
seen
are
Shadow with the messed up eyes.
like I want to like post some of the weird freaky things I found on social media. There is a dancing noodle shadow on there.
Sure is. Just like that's what I think of whenever I look at like the standard whenever a bootlegger must make something off of thin air. It's usually something bizarre and low effort from that. For it to look high quality in that way, it's probably because something exists in that style that could either just be swiped from a warehouse or just like imitated from something coming off of a production line. Like a design
But
probably exists. It probably did not come out of nowhere.
and like these things look way better than all the Sonic EXE plushes you can get on there.
The children like
um
their memes.
yeah. So
Yes,
moving
Lord.
on to our final piece of merch is we also got a new Lego wave, including the Egg Crusher from Sonic Prime.
That's a bit of a surprise.
Kind of.
Yeah, like this is the again, like Sonic Prime is popping up in more and more stuff now.
I mean,
Um,
I don't see a major distinction between the Egg Crusher and the Egg Dragoon. There is apparently some degree of difference between, but if there is, it's lost on me.
well, I think the Egg Dragoon specifically flies, right? And the Egg Crusher like has legs.
I don't. They do different things
I
based
think
on
so.
whatever game they're in. I don't know.
But uh, this is not something that I have much interest in. Although, if I were to ever get the Knuckles set with the mech suit, this is a perfect excuse to have Knuckles in a mech fight Robotnik in a mech.
Hey,
Which, funnily enough, Knuckles does come in this set.
I I I have not been especially hot on these Lego Sonic sets, and
No, there's a lot that you can just look at and go pass.
this is like it feel so. Whenever they worked on things like the Mario set or some of their, we'll say, higher end model kits or the Animal Crossing set, it always feels like they built around a concept, an idea. Like the identity of this set is that it does this. And even some of their original stuff like Lego Other Side or Mixels or Dream something, I forget what that one's called. It always felt like, okay, we have a concept for a design or a set of like design behaviors or ideas or something unique attached to them. Sonic feels like it's just a bunch of generic play sets except Sonic's there. Sometimes they have
I
something
wouldn't
I
say
interesting.
kind
they all feel like that, but
No, not all,
definitely
but there
some of
are
them do.
some. Like, there's one we're going to talk about in a minute. This Sonic Party Bus thing. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
the hell?
the Team Sonic Command Truck. That has to be a generic thing, right?
I,
That's like something they took from one set and just slapped it onto this one.
And another one
it
is
has
that
some
aforementioned
details.
Knuckles mech.
Yeah, like it has some details. Like I'm not gonna fault it necessarily. Like it's the same, and I think Phelan Hartz when he wrote it up kind of noted like, yeah, this is a lot of what they do for stuff like the Ninjago series, where it's like we have a sense of these are the things that kids are interested in. These are things that we will make. I it doesn't do a lot for me, and like, and that isn't to say like, hey, I'm too old and mature for a playset set. It's more like these don't have much to do with Sonic. These don't
It doesn't
really feel like
tickle
they
your nerd bone, basically, which
it
is
doesn't
admittedly my issue with a lot of these too.
it doesn't feel like it's building to what the property is. In the same way that like I think they're spot on with Mario. I think they're spot on with Animal Crossing. I love what they're doing with those ones and I am all in on
Like I think
getting
the
that stuff.
BioLizard one is neat.
Yeah.
That is something that I would probably own already if I were a little more into Lego. The one that was like properly about the Master Emerald Shrine again,
I
like
got that one.
that one I
That's
was
for
going to
me.
get. I probably will at some point. But then like there are these generic ones where yeah, like it just doesn't have much Sonic-y stuff in it. But
Yeah.
like like
It isn't to say
nerd
like
me would
you can
just be all like that. That Caterpillar is cool, but do I need the truck?
yeah. It just comes down to like well, even the like I'm thinking of things like the Tails adventure boat. Like it's not designed on anything that I recognize. It's not as if they ride boats regularly. And the few times that they do use a boat, it certainly does not look in the style of any familiar boat. It feels like they are making a more kid-centered generic set of things instead of playing
Yeah.
into the things that make the brand. It's even among that. A lot of these don't have the ball launching mechanic that they started off early with. Like, it's not
That's
necessarily
true.
around that either.
Yeah.
Make like a rider's extreme gear thing with a little track that they can roll down on or something.
Eh, but
So,
I
go
I
on.
I mean, I'm certainly not begging for better Sonic Lego sets. I have enough I have enough things to want that are Lego that they
TX
just
wants a Lego Dreamcast set, is what he wants.
they just announced Luxo Jr., the Pixar lamp, as a
Eh.
Lego model kit. I think, oh, I'm trying to remember what oh, I remember now. They just announced the Krusty Burger.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw that, and
that looks
Krusty's a
great.
farmer for some reason.
Yeah, and
Next $210.
someone on another server I hang out with pointed out the fact that, like, they made the biggest mistake of not including Skinner and Chalmers.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for that Simpsons meme.
But yeah, but I like I see the level of detail and care put into some of the other things that I love coming out of Lego, and don't inherently see that level of detail and care happening in Sonic Sphere. So I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. There's some cool ones in it. I don't have a sense of like what they're going for.
They're going for making money on Sonic Legos.
Yes, but like I am used to Lego having a vision for like what a specific franchise could have special about it, and
Yeah, I
I
mean,
do
they're
not
doing
see
that
that with Sonic.
really well with the Mario things. I
Yeah,
mean, Mario
Mario's
being
great.
an electronic thing is unusual, but all the play sets and all the vehicles and everything fit it perfectly.
They just
And with
announced
this, they have okay, there's some play sets that are based on the games, and then there's just random stuff that looks like they took stuff from other play sets and dropped Sonic into it, like you're saying.
yeah.
Of course, I do wonder if this kind of comes down to Nintendo just saying, "No, you can't do that. Try again. Luigi can't be in a mech suit. There is no Mario command truck."
We're we're finally getting Lego Wario. It 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 took a long time, but he is coming to Mario Kart line with his big dump pink car. It looks great.
Ooh,
I love it.
is he a minifig or is he built?
No, he's a brick. He's a brick built in the same scale as the Mario character, but he
Ah, I hate that.
he's not electronic, but he still has his big facial expression, his giant bulby nose and mustache and giant smile. Oh, he
Hmm.
looks so good. He looks so good.
If you say so. So, moving on to a brief bit of animation news, we got some more Chao Tales, and it continues to be
Eh,
Chao Tales, cute and cuddly, and that's about all it needs to be, I guess.
Yeah.
You had one where the Chao raced, and the Shadow Chao was super overconfident and tried really hard, then fell flat on its face. And I was wondering if they're going to do Karate One, because that felt like something that might be a little too violent for this kind of uh, series. But instead, they just had the Dark
uh,
Chao training the Shy One wearing the eggshell instead of beating the crap out of it, which I would to see them just beat the crap out of each other, but you know, I guess that totally makes more sense. um,
I just hope by the end
but
of these that they have like the soup. Like these animations are only a minute each, so they are
yeah,
very, we'll say, YouTube short and TikTok friendly. I just hope
yeah, I
by
think
the
that's
end of it,
important.
like they just cut them all into one video, one 12-minute long video or whatever, 8 minute, 8 or 12.
hey,
Okay, 8 minute long video that is not cropped to portrait mode.
yeah, I really need to see it like in proper widescreen because it does seem pretty clear that that is how it was originally animated. I do enjoy these things for what they are. Like, it's nice just seeing Sonic relax and seeing the Chao do their little Chao things in animation.
They're
Like,
fine. I
they're
don't like
fine.
I don't watch
Yeah,
them and think like
nothing
they're
much of them.
yeah, they're on par with like the Sonic and Friends. Like they're a little bit more put together, better put together than those. They have themes, the animation it looks good. Uh it's just because they're only a minute long, it just doesn't feel like it feels like they have an idea, it's a basic idea, they execute it and then done. Fine,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's just
and I
slight.
think it's fine. It's fine. Um. Okay, so moving on briefly to Raising Rings, which both GX and I participated in, as I talked about earlier. They held their stream. They officially held their event at the start of May, and they reached their 10K goal, their 10,000 pound goal again this year. So, congrats to Sam Procrastinate on that. And it
Indeed.
does and what?
I said indeed.
And this will now be like an annual thing that I guess we will be participating in, time allowing. Um, and I just like last year, this year I did have some fun. It acted as a nice way for me to like kind of test out some technology and test out my setup for the Sage and Sonic Hacking Contest streams that are going to be hitting later this year. Um, so I do appreciate them in that sense, but like I also do just enjoy all of the tech around it and coming together with other streamers just to kind of help a cause. Like um those two things make these streams really enjoyable to do.
Cool.
So GX, you have anything to say?
I have largely tried to roll that back into doing additional weekly streams beyond Sega Sonic Radio. So hopefully continue streams on Wednesday, which might be some of these podcasts. But
Yeah, you did finish your murder of Sonic, the
yeah,
murder of Sonic the Hedgehog stream
I did finish that
last
game.
week.
It was good. I really enjoyed it. They made a cool little thing.
Yes, they did. They should
I'm
make
surprised it's
another one of
taken this
those and
long
sell it
before
for
you
money.
played it.
um, moving on, we have Sega financial news, and I have not had any time to look at this, but I know you've covered it, GX. So why don't you take us away on that?
Yeah. So hey, they put out their latest financial report. Like it's the end of the fiscal year. Sega always, as per the requirements of being a a stock-driven corporation, you have to make sure that you are keeping your investors informed about what your earnings are, what your plans are for the upcoming year, what forecasts are. And it gives us a little bit of a vision of like, hey, how are they doing as a company? What are they actually up to? What are their priorities? And there's a couple interesting statistics sort of there. Uh, one of which is, hey, they're not doing quite as well with new title sales this year. Which like, hey, they had quite a few this year. I can't remember if Pirate Yakuza is in this fiscal year. That was
It
February,
is. It
right?
released in February, yeah,
So
and the
it would have
fiscal year
released
ends at the
I
end
hope
of
that
yeah.
March.
did wear well because I really enjoyed that one.
Uh, hard to say. It probably was not among their most successful, but at the same time, like if it came out in February, it hasn't been out for that long during the like I believe theirs ends in March. I don't remember if it's the beginning of March or
I would imagine that if anything underperformed, it was probably that new Monkey Ball game.
yeah, I've been keeping an eye on if they have had anything to say about that game, and they said like, "Hey, the Sonic X Shadow Generations, that did well, didn't it? The Metaphor Refantasio, that sold like 1,000,000 copies. It's great, isn't it? And then absolutely nothing on the other games. So, but like, hey, it's like 33, um, about 6, somewhere in the realm of like 6.5 million sales of new title games, which we know at least 3,000 of that is combined Sonic X Shadow Generations and Metaphor Refantasio. So there's definitely some sales of other things in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But those represent about half the releases, but also half the sales, I suppose.
Like,
Um,
I have to imagine that Super Monkey Ball does not have to sell much to become profitable because they have been making these games for years now.
Probably not, but this is the new one. Like, this is the new one, and they keep putting service based. Well, they keep supporting it with the extra character DLC. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
they've also done that with previous Monkey Ball games.
They have, but like they sprung for Miku and Godzilla. That's not nothing. But
Well, Miku Sega has like a long existing relationship with, but Godzilla definitely couldn't have been cheap.
they do. It's probably
I
still
don't
they
know.
probably still got paid.
Godzilla's licensed everywhere. Feels like Toho's licensing Godzilla for a ham sandwich.
Yeah, I can't
I
complain. I
mean,
thought the Dave the Diver stuff was pretty good.
yeah, and like I like just watching those videos of Fortnite. It seemed pretty cool. So
I don't know.
they did.
I'm not big on thin Godzilla.
I love Hatsumiku Godzilla, and also giant Godzilla in the middle of the map. That stuff seemed cool.
Okay,
Uh,
I was more talking about the skins.
oh no, the skin's also cool. You can have him do the Miku Miku beam.
Okay.
But anyway, so and I noticed that it also says it has strong sales of Sonic Shadow Generations.
Yeah, Sonic Shadow Generations. Like we know it did well. They have been vocal about it doing well. Obviously, like, hey, what doing well in the context of a Sonic game is different than most companies.
True,
Uh,
yeah.
when you look at how Capcom is doing, like it's doing a fraction of what Capcom's heaviest hitters are doing, but it's doing well for a Sega game. Um, Metaphor Refantasio, people are RPG fans big into that. Uh, Sonic franchise has been doing better than last year as a representative amount of value of Sega. Uh, so I think the comparison I had to make here was like this year the Sonic franchise in total revenue that they cited 32.5 billion. Uh, that is significantly more than last year. However, you figure last year was what? It was Sonic Superstars and Sonic Origins, and then continued sales of stuff that's already out. Um,
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
is on par with 2023. So keep in mind, so this year's the Sonic releases are Sonic X Shadow Generations and something else. Was there? Wasn't there something else?
Um, well, we thought we were getting Sonic Rumble at one point, but no, I'm pretty sure in terms of like game releases, that
Oh,
was it.
the movie. The third movie came out.
Oh yeah, the movie, yes.
So this year is on par with 2020 with fiscal 2020. Fiscal 2023 is a year that contained Sonic Frontiers, Sonic Origins, Sonic 2 film, and the first season of Sonic Prime. This year did roughly the same as that year. What?
Huh.
I think Sonic 3 did very well. Do you get the impression Sonic 3 did very well for the franchise?
Yes, yes, it did.
Yeah. I guess the only other big takeaway here, um, they are they they apparently have very very big expectations of Sonic Rumble. Hey, if you're wondering why it's delayed, they really want this thing to hit big because they're projecting that the difference between this year's free play income and next year is supposed to be $135 million.
Oh
That
boy.
that's the increase that they're expecting. Now, it's not just off the back of Sonic Rumble. Persona 5 The
There,
Phantom X is supposed to finally have its um Asian territories. Uh
yeah.
but number one, it's not near as I can tell, I don't think they're planning on launching US this year. They have not stated a plan. And number two, like that's a lot. 135 is a lot for what they're doing here. Like to put that into context, this year's free to play sales were 47.1 billion yen, and they're expecting 20 billion yen on top of that, which is even higher than fiscal year 2024. So
So their expectations for Sonic Rumble are pretty big, and I do wonder if this took into account the delay, because delay did happen about like a week and a half before this report came
oh
out.
sure. But well, that you figure it still would have been this report would have certainly accounted for the first delay. Yeah, yeah, we'll call it a delay. It accounted for the first delay. Um, the second one, maybe they'll pay lip service to it, but keep in mind we're already firmly in fiscal 20.
Well,
Like,
I'm just talking about in terms of estimates
gotcha.
for their free to play. Like I've got to imagine that part of the reason why they made it, that I've got like I don't know when these reports are put together, but like so I do wonder if they were able to take that into account as they were doing their estimates for this report,
I
or if like this estimate came from when they thought they were launching on May 8th.
It probably depends on whenever they felt like there Thi this second delay couldn't have just come out of nowhere. Like, maybe it was communicated in a way that felt like it came out of nowhere, but the
Yeah,
only way things get delayed like this are if there's already talks of, like, we know we know we can put this out, but we also think that if we have the extra time, we could put this out. So, yeah, yeah.
well, it does sound like a lot's riding on this, so it's going to be interesting to see where things go.
It's
Do
not
you
a
have anything
cheap
else
looking
to?
game. Like,
No.
that's what I wanna emphasize is, like, this is probably the most expensive at least expensive looking, Sonic mobile game that they've ever put out. Most
When the beta
involved.
released a year ago, like it had a cutscene with voice acting. I am kind of surprised that that just kind of got stripped down. Although maybe that'll be review, put back in for the global launch or something.
Quite possibly.
Um. So you have anything else to say on the end of your financials?
They're not anticipating that tariffs, are gonna be a big concern, like, hey, the biggest thing that tariffs would impact are them shipping things like arcade cabinets. No, they don't do that huge business in the States with they do not insane. It's not like we're riding on arcade
Yeah.
prize toys. And then maybe the biggest one that they would run into issues with are like their gaming machine. When I say gaming, I mean the gambling sense of gaming.
Yeah.
They've gotten big into like the I don't know in Pennsylvania here since we have certain legalized games of skill. We get these big dumbass machines of things that technically might not be gambling, but are allowed to be local games of skill facilities, or the pizzeria, or the grocery store, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they those are also very common down here in Florida. Like
Yeah.
for years, I thought that like this standard video game arcade was just a gambling house because they call all the gambling houses arcades down here, which is very annoying.
I can bet.
Again,
But
we got little video arcades around here they're not your Pac-Man video arcades. They're little like slot machines and stuff. Where
hey,
people go in, they play the video lottery, and they smoke and
but most
gamble their
significantly,
money
it
away.
looks like I'm getting some Lupin the Third this year, and Sakamoto will be back over the summer, which I'm very happy about because
Yay, Sakamoto days.
those are fine TMS products.
So, moving on to some more Japanese-centric stuff. Uh, Sonic is coming back to manga, properly
Hasn't really
like that.
left manga.
Well, he did leave manga for a while, and then I think he came back for like some
I mean,
some
it's
game
not like
adaptations
I thought
or
Sonic
Shadow or
Sonic
something.
appears regularly in Shonen Jump or anything.
No, but CoroCoro is a regular manga in the same way that Shonen Jump is. Like,
But in any case,
it's
Sonic
just more
is
kid
coming
focused.
back to manga with a brand new original adventure, called Sonic and the Blade of Courage. And this appears to at least be, in terms of creative team, a direct follow-up to last year's Shadow the Hedgehog manga. It's being written and drawn by the mangaka Yuki Imada, and it's going to debut in the next month's issue of CoroCoro magazine on June 13th.
I was very
And
confused when I saw the headline for this pop up on our Discord. It was like, those MFers announce some other freaking storybook series project. Like,
that is something I am wondering about because like it has the title style and like it's about a blade of courage. Like it sounds like Sonic might be using a sword of some kind. I don't know. But the teaser doesn't tell us much. It just has Sonic outrunning a cheetah, a peregrine falcon, and a bullet train.
yeah, it sure seems like one of those. They will probably
But
be mad when they do not release it localized, and yet people in the states get scans of it.
yeah. Like
Ugh.
I've already asked Evan like how we want to cover this because it's like, like there really is no official thing for us to link to, but at the same time, people are going to be talking about it. So what do I do?
Yep, and like just like the Shadow one, they might not, translate it over here. Who knows?
Hey,
Well, yeah,
if you don't want people to scan and share, put out a localized version through official channels. License it to
yeah.
Viz or some crap. I don't know.
Like that, I don't understand why they don't have some kind of deal like that running already. Like IDW could probably
To be
handle the
fair, that
publishing and translation.
Sure.
doesn't really work with One Piece. Even though it's just going to be out on Sunday, people are already, looking at scans on Thursday that somebody else released.
Yeah, but it's like like people would pay for this. I would pay for this. So let's just get this stuff out over here. But in the meantime, there is a Blue Sky user, Windy's Wingdings, who posted these scans, and I think also posted all that Shadow stuff last year. So I might just be using them as a source potentially, depending on how we end up deciding to cover things. But we'll see. Either way, I am much more interested in this than the Shadow manga because it's an original adventure. So, moving on to more comic news, we have a delay from IDW. Shigs, what do you think is the new release date for Sonic Chasing Shadows?
I'm gonna guess fall. at this point.
Well, the date that we have right now is March 4th, 2026.
Sweet.
Oh
How
my
was it?
god.
I
Oh,
said
oh,
2026,
2026.
GX.
It'll be out
But
just in
anyway,
time. It'll be out just in time for the next Sonic movie or whatever they're
so
going to do next.
so like there are some caveats with this. One, that this is almost certainly a placeholder date. It came from Previews World, which is like the preview arm of Diamond Distributors, which doesn't distribute the comic IDW comics anymore. So this might just be a placeholder that they put because IDW just doesn't have a date yet. But what we do know is that the writer for the comic, Keel Fegley, confirmed in April that they turned in pages to SEGA on April 23rd, meaning that the comic book is still being made. like it, it hasn't been delayed because I don't know, they're having some production issue or something. No, like the comic literally is just still in the process of being produced.
I'm wondering if they had a lot of if say because we understand the ways that Sega treats Shadow. It makes me wonder
Yeah,
if there were notes.
They're really pissing me off about that stuff, man.
yeah. So
They're
Kyle
just
Fegley said,
he's not
yeah,
that
nothing.
special a character to be so delicate with.
Yeah, nothing
I
too
know it's
dramatic.
the
It's
most
just taking.
popular, but come on.
Yeah, nothing too dramatic. It's just taking a little longer to coordinate all the details between editorial and Sega than expected. I turned in some new pages on Wednesday. I would have expected it to be moved to the fall, but IDW may have slapped 26 on it out of caution or to better fit publishing plans. So yeah, like given what we've heard so far, this is almost certainly like I guess a Sega thing.
Probably. I mean, they're
Which
as far as we know, they're still looking for someone to help maintain the like they're hiring up. We know they're hiring up. We knew that they were running into a bottleneck there for on stuff. So it could just be a victim of that. It could be a victim of like just needing to make slight changes. Like, gotta do this. We think he would probably do that kind of stuff.
like given everything we've heard, my expectation is almost certainly that it's like, yeah, Sega is taking forever and their go between. They keep asking for changes, and that is what the holdup is. Because like we know now that yes, they have a manpower shortage when it comes to approving things, and they need to approve everything that comes out of IEW, and they always have lots of notes for Shadow.
This is
So
why it takes them
yeah,
like we only get like 8 to 10 issues per year instead of 12.
and this is why I miss how it used to be done under late Archie, where it's like someone from Sega of America had a list of things and would like that were allowed and not allowed, and they simply went through them.
Well,
Like there's just someone devoted to stuff like this. In a way, it feels like there isn't now.
that's what pisses me most. Is not like isn't like that they need someone to go through and approve it. That makes an amount of sense. To me, it sounds like okay, you train someone who is an English speaker or is based in the US that they can send it over without it needing to be translated first in
Yeah, like I
order
don't
to
see
get those
Sonic Team.
approvals.
I don't see why Sonic Team
Right.
needs to directly approve everything. Like have this is an English, this is like mostly
Can
an American
IDW not
franchise. Have someone from America approve everything.
yeah, can't they have a multi language reader look at that before sending it off to Sega and writing it for them or something? I don't know.
I would think, but
The
man,
only thing
it's
I
just
could really think
noisy.
of is if they the only thing I could really think of is if they legitimately do intend to have any manner of meaningful integration with the series going forward, that would be something where they would probably want to be involved. I have not seen a lot of evidence of that, and I think the number one place where you would have evidence is in the cast of Crossworlds. And
Well,
thus
that is a
far,
cast that's going to expand, so I would not be surprised if we got IDW characters in there.
but so far it's nothing that they have meaningfully revealed, and they've revealed a lot of
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, like they basically the entire modern cast is in there. Plus, we know some Prime characters are coming.
Yeah.
But well, you know what? We'll probably be seeing in the next several months if what else they'll be including in there. But even if that's the case, like I think you could have Sonic Team like directly approve some things while leaving other things up to just the Western side of Sega and Sonic Pillar. Like you have a whole organization called Sonic Pillar based in the US that has all these English speakers. Just trust them more. Just let them handle more of the franchise. I don't know. This is frustrating.
Considering that Sega of America had to unionize, I don't know. It's not as if Sega has a particularly strong history of trusting their American branch.
True. So anything else on this subject?
I don't know. It'll probably be out eventually. I bet Sonic Rumble will release before it does.
I kind of hope so because I don't want Sonic Rumble to take too much longer. So moving on to the final piece of news for today.
They keep printing Sonic X, DCX Sonic. They won't stop printing this first issue. Please make them stop.
Yes.
The printers, they have a mind of their own. We have shut
DCX
them down.
Sonic.
We have disconnected them from power, but they keep printing copies of this comic.
DCX Sonic issue 1 is getting a third printing. It's getting another new generic cover that is just a Shadow Batman concept art, unlike some sort of splash background. But clearly this is doing well because I can't remember a Sonic comic ever getting a third printing before. Now, certainly maybe it happened at some point during the Archie days and they just didn't announce it. Like I know that they produce lots of things in back issues, but this is still a different beast from that.
Didn't the first 4-issue saga of IDW Sonic get a couple reprinting?
I know it got one. I
Okay.
don't know if it got more than that. Like, if it did, I just don't remember right now. But I am beginning to wonder, just like where this thing sits in terms of the best-selling Sonic comics.
I fear I would be disappointed with the answer.
Because you don't want this thing to be at number 1.
I still find it so boring.
Yeah. Well, regardless,
it's a kid's book and it's selling well.
Yep.
That's why it's getting a third-ish printing, and who knows, maybe a fourth. But I doubt it.
It's an all-ages book.
I don't think it's doing absolute Batman numbers, but who knows?
These arcane magic printers can't stop spitting out the comic pages. Like they tried to make it stop. They have canceled future issues. But they cannot get the printers to stop.
What I'm wondering is whether or not we'll be getting multiple printings of the other issues as well. Like, we could be getting these print run stories for a while if this keeps up.
If we were getting a number 2, we probably would have gotten a number 2 reprint by now.
So
maybe.
Here's the big question. Okay. So they love putting Sonic characters in dopey costumes to sell them in play games. Do we get that?
Certainly. I'm expecting us to get the DC Sonic characters in mobile at the very least.
You think so?
Yeah, like I mean, I would assume that's just part of the partnership. Like, heck, Sonic Forces has the Lego characters. Sonic Dash has that monkey thing from that banana from that yogurt partnership that
yeah.
they did years ago.
You don't
Like
you don't
whenever there's a
think
partnership, it typically appears in their mobile game. So
you don't
I
think Warner
expect it.
would be weird about video game inclusion? Because they're
I
kind of
mean,
twisting their arms and being like, "Okay, we have a vision for video games now. We have it's all gonna tie back. If it's gonna be a video game, it's gonna tie back in some way to our movies that we have a
I mean,
universe
they
for with
could
James
be,
Gunn."
but then it's like I would say that that would probably be one of the things that Sega would want as like a conditional part of any like partnership that they formed. Like let us put this DC stuff in our mobile game, and like the Lego stuff, it would probably be like one of those one and done events. But like I expect that it'll happen.
Do, I Well, ooh, what you could do now that you mentioned Lego, you could make them in Lego. It'd be very easy to do. They make a lot.
Yeah,
They make a lot of DC Comics Lego.
yeah, you could actually do that. Like, it would have to be separate from the Jakks specific partnership, but it's not like
Sure.
they aren't making DC X Sonic toys right now. Um, what are probably bigger stretches are Sonic Rumble and especially like Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I would not expect them to appear in that.
I'm not even certain that we're gonna see movie Sonic in Crossworlds at this.
I wouldn't count him out just yet. Like not until like we have a strong idea of what multiple DLC packs are going to have.
Okay.
Right.
So
Well, I guess we should
Shigs,
wrap this
go,
up with
go on.
some of the IDW discussion.
So you have read both issues, yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. And we're ready to go into both of them.
Yeah, it's been a while since I read 77, so it's a little
Well,
less
I
fresh
read
than
both
78.
today. 77 for the second time. Um so these carry on from 76, where everyone went off on their own little adventures, and Sonic and the Chaotix went out to sort of figure out what's going on with with why is my brain calling him Scruff? The possum guy. Help me with his name. I've lost it.
I forgot it myself.
Oh, come
He
on.
doesn't have a memorable name, and every time I try to remember his name, I gotta look it up.
Okay. And GX, you don't remember either?
Clutch. You're
Sonic.
thinking of Clutch.
Thank you. Clutch. Okay.
Clutch,
Sonic
yeah.
and the Chaotix are out looking for Clutch, trying to figure out what happened to him after Eggman took him, and the first place they went was his old stomping grounds. It turns out like hey, that they've been taken over by but oh no, how did I forget their names?
Rough and Tumble.
Rough and Tumble. Man, but it's been taken
How
over by
I
Rough and
can
Tumble, and
forget their names. They're always rhyming them.
yes, and they have Clutch working as their servant essentially, which I find that whole situation to be very funny. The Chaotix are great in this, especially Charmy. I love Charmy's whole thing in this, where he's just more concerned about his little board game than in the more serious things going on right now.
Almost like he's a 6-year-old kid who's
Yeah, like he's
not
the
really good
most
for his
childish
sex
kid in Sonic, and
He's
I
the
appreciate
child labor.
I'm not sure Vector would describe him like that. But I've really been enjoying these last couple of issues. But okay, so Clutch tells them that like, you've beaten me. I've lost everything. I'm working for them now. There's nothing else for me. I'm retired. I tried to get back into the game and I lost. And it eventually turns out that he is working against his will for Eggman, because he has like this big bomb bug attached to his head underneath his hat. And
that's
this whole
bringing back the old Archie thing.
yeah, like I'm getting some serious Archie
animal
vibes from
characters
this.
to work for him.
Um,
It's still kind of dumb that I know. Hey, Sonic's not a cop and whatever, but he caused a major destruction on a city, and you're not gonna take
Oh,
him in any way.
Shigs. I got some bad news about one of the skins in Sonic Rumble. Sonic's totally a cop.
but Sonic doesn't incarcerate people, and basically it's assumed by the end of the issue that, but by the heroes, that Clutch doesn't pose a threat, that he's been beaten, but they are still checking out a one of his old facilities that he pointed him towards to confirm his story, and that is where we'll
Which,
be
of course,
picking up
is the trap.
in a couple of issues. Yeah, like he told Eggman about it, and Eggman is sending some robots there. But like what I do love about this is like Clutch, Rough and Tumble are just completely oblivious to all of this. They're just like living the high life, thinking that all the stuff that Clutch provides for them just comes out of the ether. And
Right.
they have reformed in air quotes, and they are completely oblivious to what's going on with Eggman. And this is just like a low key funny issue for me. And like I have been enjoying this comic more and more over the last few issues. And that does continue into the next one, where we have Amy, Tails, and Blaze just going around the world, checking out all of these towns and confirming that their restoration facilities are still running well. And it turns out, like, hey, everyone else is actually doing pretty well without Restoration HQ, and they're now going over to Restoration HQ to help them out. Because it turns out that, hey, Amy and Jewel have built a very strong, multi-tiered organization that can survive something like that. And
Like Blaze's little character arc that going through.
yeah,
Here.
like
She felt guilty that everything happened when she was on her watch, and now she's wanting to help and protect.
and it plays into her role as a guardian of her own world. And
right.
We even get a little hint at her backstory, which kind of surprised me a bit and makes me wonder if SEGA has something bigger planned, although I'm not going to get my hopes up yet. Regarding how she used to feel about her power as something that was just purely destructive, which was not something that was in Sonic Rush, I might add. But one thing I do enjoy about this issue is that we get to see a lot of locations, and some of them are really cool. Like there is this glass, I forget if it's Glass Hills or Glass Mountains or something, but like this area that's just completely covered in glass, the flowers, the hills, and everything, and it looks so cool. And there is a second and then there's also a second island where like it's shaped like a turtle with the green trees like making up its color. And then like in the middle there is this this town built on a rock that is just suspended by buoys in the middle.
Yeah, that part makes no sense to me. Why I get, yeah, okay, the little turtle island that's hollow, that looks really nice. Why are you building a village inside it that you have to have floating on these buoys?
No, but it's cool. Like it's a kind of more creative locations.
It looks cool. As a location you want to live in, it makes absolutely no sense.
Like, let's be honest. I live in a place that is very impractical to live. I live in South Florida, close to the beach. Like they just piled sand on top of like on top of like coral reefs and then built homes on top of it. Like a good chunk of this state is just built on a house. It's just a house of sand. But it's a cool location. These are locations I'd love to see in like games or something. And it's the kind of thing I really wanted to see IDW do more with, and so like yeah, I'm happy on that front as well.
And then we have Surge actually still trying her best to
Yes,
be a hero, going against her nature, which you gotta commend her for that because she wasn't programmed that way, but she
like
likes
Surge.
to accommodations she gets for it and the love from the kids and everything. And of
Yeah,
course,
and meanwhile, Kit is just like trying to create situations where she gets to be a hero. And like that whole thing between them, I'm really enjoying because
that's
like
the main villain basically. She's
yeah,
sabotaging all these locations just so she can save the day. Because
here's Surge
basically
trying to be a hero.
she's going
And
against her programming. He's still stuck with being obsessed with her.
yes, like he Tails needs him to do something as part of his plan to save the island after Kit blows up two of the buoys. Well, sorry, Kit blows up one buoy on purpose, and then Surge cuts another because she thinks it will help
It's
balance
gonna
out the
balance,
island.
yeah. Because
But
like I said, she's not. She tries to be a hero, but she's not a good hero. She's
like and that's
her part
the kind of heroism that I like seeing in this. Like the kind of heroism where it's flawed and doesn't have the right kind of motivations behind it. Like it lends Surge an amount of complexity that really I've been wanting to see more of in these comics. Um, Kit hesitates to carry out Tails' plan to save the island, because like he doesn't want to upstage Surge.
right.
But Surge is all like, oh, it's fine. I'll get credit by proxy. um, their whole thing has been interesting and continues to be a highlight of this comic book, alongside Blaze and alongside just seeing Amy being more confident. If there's one thing that I kind of frustrates me about them being stuck at the before Frontiers times is that this feels like a story that would take place after Sonic Frontiers, because it's one of the unnamed characters talks about how like, hey, like you built this whole amazing organization out of your compassion and everything as like a major part of what there is of her arc in Frontiers. And so it's like,
Right.
man.
They have to leave this era at some point, and I still really want to know like what's their vision for the series future, because it very much feels like Frontier is some sort of point of uh point of changing something, question mark, but I don't know
Yeah, it feels
what.
feels like one of those Star Wars comics that was in between movies for several years, and they're just kind of circling around.
Oh yeah,
Something.
that was like big for you, big back in your era. Like they also did that with Star Trek, where they like had to spend years between telling all these stories between movies, and then it's like, okay, movie's out, we need to do a quick retcon. um, but thankfully, this doesn't feel like something that would need to do that. Which we probably have Sega stewardship to thank for that, for better or for worse. But like yeah, like these have
Yeah, the only
I've been enjoying.
character, and also of course the only character development we can get are the comic exclusive characters, and not any of the video game related characters
But hey,
whatsoever.
you know what? They are getting plenty of page time right now. Like the next one is all about the end of Whisper and Mimic's whole thing. Like we're getting a finale to that, which like I'm expecting Mimic's gonna die or something, but like maybe they'll surprise me and go the other way. I don't know. Like
Turns out
I
Sonic
wouldn't
dies.
like I was never expecting them to kill off Starline, but then he was. So maybe the heroes don't have as much plot armor as as I expect. But
Right.
but yeah, like I've been enjoying these smaller standalone issues, and they feel a lot less inconsequential than some of the ones we were getting before, like that one that took place in that freaking underground lizard cave. Ugh. You know,
Yeah.
these feel like proper adventures, and the characters are actually getting to do things, and I'm hoping that the comic book has finally figured things out, like in a consistent way. I'm crossing my fingers because I have been happy for a while now, and that has been nice.
Right.
And that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I will say some parts of 77 were a little, yeah, in the writing and the way Sonic's talking. I don't know if it's just Ian Flynn getting older, but there's times where it feels like Sonic's talking like an old man. Like I'm getting sick of your shenanigans or whatever. And shenanigans is just not a word I see Sonic using, to be honest.
Oh,
I
I
don't
love the
know.
idea of Sonic using the word shenanigans.
Yeah, so do I. Like
It
that
sounds
just
like
feels like
it
a.
sounds like an old man word to me. It's like
I mean, I was saying that when I was in my 20s. Like it's a
it reminds
playful
me
word.
of art the old men writing Archie comics where it's an old man trying to write how a teenager would write nowadays or sound
Like
nowadays.
Sonic has been talking
I
more
just think that's
maturely
funny.
for a
I just think
very long
that's funny.
time now. And like I wouldn't say shenanigans is an old man's word. I'd say it's just a goofy word. Like I said, I talked like that in my 20s. As a word that is no stranger to me. um
I also do appreciate a cultural anachronism in there.
So, if we're all done, then if things go as planned, we should be back in 2 weeks for another pre Summer Game Fest stream, where we will be presumably talking about the third issue of DCX Sonic, among other things. Um, so I do hope to have some original features on the hitting the website in the next few weeks. There have been a couple that are very time sensitive. I want to write about Sonic X Shadow Generations on the Switch too. Um, so maybe, hopefully, keep an eye out for that. Do you guys have anything you're working on?
Uh, so I meant to put together some stuff for Sega Sonic Radio this week, but I have been absolutely swamped trying to accomplish other things in my personal life, and I will probably have a special episode of the show that does not have like the whole request and everything. It's just something short and fun to fill some space. I catch it, you can. Next Wednesday, I will probably have some form of stream. I don't know what yet, but we're gonna more try to get things out on Wednesdays.
Sonic 06.
No, I have more interesting things that I could go to than like there's I got some ideas. Got some stuff brewing that should be. That said, hey, our opinions are our own, but broadly speaking, we are under the banner of Sonic Stadium over at sonicstadium.org. We are one of the internet's oldest Sonic fan communities. You can check it out. We've got news coverage, we've got forums, we've got plenty of discussion over on Discord. You ever want to bug us, you can do it over there. And yeah, we got some hopefully cool stuff coming up. You know, Summer Games Fest is coming up. At the very least, we will be paying close attention to that to see if they got anything cross worlds. And
Yeah,
we'll always be on top of the stuff coming out for Sonic Rumble. Sonic Rumble will some form of.
yeah, I'm crossing my fingers for like sometime this summer.
Yeah,
So
expect our next episode in 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks, depending if we do it before the Switch 2 releases.
yeah, we have the Switch too. We're all going to be talking about Mario Kart, aren't
Well,
we?
like the mid June episode is already gonna be Summer Game Fest and Switch 2. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so things are about to get busy for a bit, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Gonna get very busy.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in. This is Knuckles 87, and we are done.
So, next time.
Bye bye.